Okay, the main question is what are the issues, the principal issues of the society in your country? And when I say society, I mean the children, the young people that you have identified.
Well, in the way, like we look at children, and of course the parents are very much involved, is one, of course, what most of the people here say is, first of all, they look at the skills, and the skills they need actually for the future and to sustain in society. But secondly, it is what we see, and it's the main issue which is coming now, and I think more and more also in media, is that people have the feeling that children are living in two different kind of worlds. What we call the offline world, which is more the traditional one, where you have, respect, you have rules, and you know how to do things. And you have the online world. People, especially parents and also teachers, think that's a world we don't understand, and it's very difficult to get involved in. Well, that's a very big issue at the moment, because in that so-called online world is, of course, very much connected with the offline world. Because what's happening here is having direct effect in the classroom for the children themselves and vice versa. So our main concern at this moment is that those two things are coming together. The rules that have in the offline world, in the real world, are also going to be considered online. So when they are talking about their own identity, and they're working on it, how they go on with their friends and how actually they position themselves in society. Also, they have to consider when they are online, what do you do with your pictures? How long will they stay there? Things like that. How do you communicate with people? You learn that you should not talk with strange people in the street, but online suddenly you talk with anybody. And so all these kind of things are very much interconnected, but we are not teaching the children that interconnected, we are teaching them separately. Even though that you have two separate streams in education. People who started from the ICT and media literacy, etc., they are only talking about cyberbullying, this, and look at that as a separate issue. What we see is that you have in the schools themselves, they are very much used, and I think in most countries we talk about civil education. Only in civil education, the digital part is not included. So that's what actually in the Netherlands, and also what we try to do in our projects, to show that it's nothing new. It's only a new element in parental assistance in schools, etc. When we talk with schools, very often they say, well, we are not really doing things concerning digital environment. But when we talk with them, we ask, did you talk about Mr. Trump yesterday, about his fake news? Of course we talk about it. Actually, they are discussing it, but they are not aware of it. If they talk about sexual education, they talk about grooming, about sexing, etc. But they don't realize they're talking about internet at the same time. So in that way, there is a whole, it's quite complicated, but things are moving ahead quite well. At the same time, people are not aware how to make the right steps, and that's
nowadays in Netherlands, do you think that the skills, and I mean the physical skills of the children, are not well developed because of the internet?
Well, that's difficult to say. You can, so of course, that's something in the development of children, that they're living in a new world. Okay. So in that way, what we can say, and then we talk about digital skills, and it's something in Australia they're talking about it now, whether they are fluent in digital skills. And we compare it with speaking English. If you're not fluent in English, you have a difficulty. If you're stuttering, etc. But the same thing in digital skills, in digital language. If you're not fluent, then it can be very difficult. Like the example I gave is that if children cannot type, they don't have the typing skills, and they go up in education and later on the labor market, they have very big problems in future. And so in that way, and concerning, of course, education, and that's something that the parents and the professionals cannot cope with, but it's not really new, because when I was small, I was reading my books under the blankets with a flashlight also until late at night. But now we find out that youngsters of 8, 9 years old, until 3, 4 o'clock they are doing WhatsApp, communicating, looking at films, etc. And that's where parents have to become more aware of how to handle it, how to talk with their children, that also teachers and professionals are picking up the signals and make it, how do you call it, talk about it, and that should be open and should not be something you don't talk about because you don't know about it. That's, at this moment, I think, the biggest point concerning education of children.
Atunci, de ce această întâlnire într-o bibliotecă și într-un cadru mai larg, cu părinți, cu copii?
Drumul spre părinți, după părerea noastră, trece prin bibliotecă. Este în beneficiul reciproc. Biblioteca are nevoie să se lege mai temeinic de comunitate, părinții au nevoie să găsească un loc unde să se adune și dacă locul ăsta nu este școala, care este celălalt spațiu care este utilizabil, atunci biblioteca este perfectă. Da? Da? Mulțumim.
Okay.
Thank you.